welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors. A Tops Knives Silent Hero rendition, if you will. Listen, y'all know how we got to start this thing. There was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now statistics show that number's going down. However, anything above zero is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. We back to blue over here with Sport Leo. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we try not to break the damn law best we can. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. So, here's the deal, guys. First and foremost, it is June 10th in the year 2022 of our Lord. And it is my 16th wedding anniversary. And so to Megatron, baby, I love you very, very, very much. Happy anniversary. And here's to a whole lot more. Now, today, guys, we're doing the Tops Silent Hero. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something a little different in this review. This is actually a review. It's not a demonstration. I've had this a while. This is probably in my top 10 knives. One of my favorite knives of all times. It comes in a leather sheath. Let me give you some specs. Overall length is 11¼ inches. Blade length, 6.38 inches. Cutting edge is 5.75 inches. Blade thickness is 0.190. The blade shape is a hunter's point. It is 1095 with a Rockwell of 56 to 58. The blade finish is Black River wash with black canvas micarta handle scales, red liners. Now, here's the deal, guys. This is, the knife weight is 12 ounces with the leather sheath that's 17 ounces. Here's what I want to do. Anton Duplessis is the designer. Now, y'all know the way I do these. I pick the knife up, I see if it works, okay? I don't fawn all over it, I don't do all that, I don't inspect it, I don't investigate it. We just want to make sure the knife works, and then I'll do some research on it. Do this one a little different. Let me just give you some quick backdrop here, and I'm simply reading off of Top's website, but it says the Silent Hero was designed by Anton Duplessis, who at the time of the design was the chief of operations for the Specialized Interdiction Unit of the Silent Heroes Foundation. His task was to combat the poaching crisis in South Africa. So this knife had to be durable, versatile, and able to fill Anton's needs in the field. And I'm going to stop there, but let me just say this. When I pick up this knife, the first thought I had on this knife is this is as close to a one-option knife as I've probably seen. What do I mean by that? Now, I'm not a one-knife guy. I never will be, don't want to be. I carry the tools that we need. But what I'm saying is, you could use this as a kitchen knife, a field knife, a hunting knife, a fishing knife. Yes, God, my favorite topic, a combat knife or self-defense knife, unless what? Unless you're an idiot. You can use this knife. I took it to work. We did some bushcrafting with it. We did some all kind of shit with it. I'd lost batoning. That's what we were doing there. Here's the deal, guys. The handle's a little thin. However, the handle length, in my opinion, makes up for that. It has a nice choil. It has some great jimping and a ramp on the back. That's really, when it comes to these style knives, these camp knives, these do-everything knives, I love a good choil. Now, the other thought that ran through my head, and usually when I pick up a knife, I can get a pretty good read on it, or I feel like I can. So when I go back and I do my actual investigation, I do my research on the knife, I like to see, hey, was I close? First thing I thought when I picked this up, this could be a combat knife. Never been in combat. Been stabbed with one, stabbed somebody with one, but never been in combat with one. So I don't know why I thought that. But everything I read to you and everything I've researched lines up with my thoughts on it. Very, very tough knife. Very durable knife. Very, very few knife makers that I've found do 1095 as well as Tops, okay? The 1095 and the heat treat, perfect. And we're going to do a lot to this edge. We're going to beat up on this edge. We're going to do a lot of demonstrations. Again, I don't do testing. None of this shit scientific, man. I see it, I do it, and we roll with it. The thing that impressed me and what really stuck out to me when we went to the multi-purpose one tool option, what made it that? Honestly, for me, you can cut with it, you can slice with it. And again, guys, all of us on this channel, all of us watching this video, even the newer guys, we know that we have to maintain our blades. I live in the swamp-ass capital of the world in Northeast Florida. 1095, I got to use my Eagles Tears blade paste. I've got to maintain the edge. If I take it to work, if I bang on it, I got to maintain my thing. If I throw it into a damn wall because I see it, we've got to maintain our stuff. So that goes without saying. Now, why did I do this? Because there was a wall there and I wanted to check the balance, the tip, the edge, the handle, and all that. Now, here's some of that old rope that I hate, that horsehair rope. Knife had zero problem with it, okay? A lot of the testing that I do with my knives or demonstrations that I do with my knives, I try to find as many materials as I can to cut. Now, one would say, and someone has said, well, Scad, you know, you got to do sharpen it up. True. Very true. Very, very true. And if that was the case, you know, we wouldn't need knife reviews now, would we? I understand your point, but the reason I like cutting everything that I cut is my thought process, my hope in that, like cutting this sandblast hose, cutting that high pressure hose, cutting that horsehair rope. If you see it, think about the things you do in your daily task. All right? I know what I do. I powder coat, I sandblast, and that's kind of a different deal. Not everybody does that. But if a knife will hold up in my vocation, I think it could hold up in most. If I can cut high pressure sandblast hose like this is here that's still belted, if I can cut that horsehair rope, now bear this in mind too. This is a knife I acquired from Kirk in a trade. So Kirk's used the knife. I'm always confident with his knives because he takes care of them and maintains them. He uses them, but he maintains them. So this is the factory edge. The only thing I did before this review, I did strop it because I've carried it a few times. I've used it a few times. I've played with it a lot. All right, so I stropped the edge, but this is the factory edge. What does that tell us? Well, it tells me the heat treat's spot on because we cut everything under the sun, son. Throw it in the stump, do the Donnie B All-day drop test, throw it into the stump test, throw it into a wall, chop water hose, cut high pressure hose, cut rubber, cut wood, slice paper. We do as many different things as we could find. This video is a little longer. I would say I'm sorry for that. I'm not. I put a ton of time, a ton of effort into this review because I love this knife, and I do. I love tops. Right there, I threw it down into that 2-inch toe strap. Look at that. Cut it, son. Good aim on the old Scabber's part. Now, right here, this is where we start to test kind of the heat treat, kind of the edge bevel, kind of the old thing. You see the knots in that wood. All I'm doing is hitting this wood flat. That's all I'm going to do. I'm hitting it flat, some chopping. We're going to move the wood around. We're chopping into some different stuff. I'm going to baton the knife into the wood. This is high pressure, high treated. I think it was an old 4x4, but it's full of knots, full of stuff. So we're going to test the edge, all right? And let me, the spoiler alert, everything held up. We didn't even have a chip, a roll. And even if we did, it wouldn't shock me because of the amount of stuff we did in this video, but we don't. The edge holds up. Now, this is probably one that I'm going to send to DJ for the simple fact when he's done with it, you'll be able to shave a gnat's ass with it, and I'll use it for some camping tasks. But the versatility, to me, guys, this is almost, honestly, as close as you can get to the perfect camp knife, because you can take this knife, it's 1095, so it's going to be easy to sharpen in the field, all right? It's easy to maintain, you just got to stay with it. But you can put whatever edge bevel you want on there. If you do more cooking, more game processing, more things like that, you can thin that thing out to a 20. I think I heard Leo say one time that most of their edges come at a 25 degree. I'm sure there's going to be my fact checkers that disagree with me, but I'm sure that I heard him say that. My point with that is this: you can change that. If you're like, man, I don't get out much, I don't chop much, I just need a good fillet knife, or I need something at camp to cook with, you can change the edge bevel. It's 1095, all right? You know the heat treat spot on. You know it's going to hold up. And really, if you just use it kind of as a food knife, it'll last you forever. Right here, we do a lot of batoning. Now, I could have released this last night. I had about 13 minutes worth of footage after 4 or 5 hours. Could have released it last night, but I wanted to get some decent chopping in with it. Not just chopping on that process 4x4. That was impressive enough. But I wanted to take the knife out and just get it in the swamp. See how it does. And I'm going to tell you, for its size, it did very, very well. I was very impressed with it. And we'll look at something right here real quick. This thing right here, son, I cut a lot of it out. Just, I wanted to get as much of us doing something in the woods as I could. That damn briar about ripped my head off, son. And then about killed myself. I thought I edited this out, but thanks to my, yep, there we go. Now we're going to fight the briar. There we go. There's the old Choir Boys Cutlery videos we know and love. There we go. Tempered's by, there it is. There it is. That a boy, Scab. Meant to edit that out. But y'all can see, pretty good hacker. I mean, I ain't a damn bro. Kind of lost it there a little bit, but I just wanted to show y'all what an idiot in the woods looks like with a silent hero, I guess. That took it out. There we go. Attaboy, Scab. I swear I thought I edited that out, but we're too far in and I got to get the packing. Now here's what we're going to do real quick. My whole thing with this was I wanted to chop this down, make a makeshift tent stake, and do it in working order just to show you, hey, we could process up some wood. We can do what we want. Now, what I wanted to look up is this. The cutting edge is 5 3/4, okay? Blade length is 6.38, and I know I've mentioned this already. I mean, the handle's probably around 5 inches. So the overall length, what did we say that was? 11 1/4. The overall length's only 11 1/4, and that is a good size knife. But for just straight up chopping, it's not a designated chopper. However, I think you're going to see it holds it on. Now, what we're doing there, we sharpened one end. We made some quick chops in there, and we're going to just kind of shave that wood out. If I needed a quick tent stake or something like that, believe me, without fighting the damn briars, this would have went a lot smoother. But you can see right there, there's some finer tasks it's able to do. It's able to manage. That 2-inch ratchet strap, all right? I've said this before, and I believe this. I don't believe there's any game hide that's going to be any tougher than that ratchet strap, that toe strap. So we've already seen several things that this knife can do. It's got that spear point on it, and just a great, to me, just a great overall shape. The more a knife looks like a knife, and I've said this many, many times, the more a knife, I love the knife. Now right here, the last 3.5 minutes of this video is chopping. Some designated chopping. What I wanted to show right here, the blade consistently. Holding the log, this is one of my favorite demonstrations to do. It shows the control of the knife, still able to swing the knife. I put, it's got a small lanyard on the back, so I just wrap a couple fingers around it here in a minute, and I'm able to hang my hand off the back. Why did I want to show this? Why was it that important to put in? Because I believe that we've covered, literally, as comprehensively as you can, cutting just about any task you would need to handle at a camp, in the field, at work. This, like I said, this is one of my, I feel good about this video. I like this video, but I love the damn knife. The knife looks like a knife. It's got an awesome blade shape. I love the geometry. I love the ergos. I love that canvas micarta heat treat spot on it. Right here, I wrapped it. Here's old Scab Eagle Feather balling out there in the wild, son. Now, again, this is not something I would consider a designated chopper, but y'all know the situations all the time that we talk about. You know, hey, if you ran off the road and you got your underwear and your knife, could this knife cut it? It is my humble novice opinion that if you got stuck in the woods or in a survival situation with this knife, you're fine. You're fine. Sharpen it up. It will handle whatever you need it to handle. It is a tough knife. It is a comfortable knife. And it's a beautiful knife. Now, guys, listen. Donnie B All-day is marching to 10,000. Let's get him there. My partner on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe from Steel Forged and Fire, Sword and Knife. Go subscribe to him. Go subscribe to Blade Talk. And then our two special guests, Husyan and Karl Ruedger, please go subscribe to them. As a matter of fact, guys, There's so many guys that I would love to shout out every damn video, but if you'll check the links in my description, they'll all be right there, and I need to add more. Check my community posts. There's some great guys in this community. Please check them out. With this last minute, guys, this will be probably the last video that I do before next week. I just want to thank everybody for all the kind thoughts, well wishes, and prayers sent. For my uncle, I'll be flying out in the morning. I would ask that you pray for Megatron while she's here by herself. I got Kirk around the corner and Jimbo's 2 streets over, and we're well covered on that end. She'll be covered and she'll be fine. My guy Richard's within 10 minutes at all times. But I just want y'all to know I love you. I appreciate you so very much. You guys do more for me than I can ever, ever, ever repay you. Your thoughts, your well wishes, the consistency that you're just uplifting. Thank you, man, from the bottom of my heart. Mikey says it best. Everything's going to be all right. It's hard to see sometimes, but he's true. I'm Scab. You're not, and I'm gone, son.